Welcome back, DOOL fans. Just when you thought Days of Our Lives couldn't get any more explosive, boom. The summer preview has dropped, and it's packed with jaw-dropping revelations. Stefano DiMera might be alive, courtroom chaos erupts, and key characters mysteriously vanish. So, what's really happening in Salem? Let's break it all down, twist by twist. Let's start with the most chilling moment in the summer preview, the possible resurrection of the most feared man in Salem history, Stefano DiMera. For years, Stefano's death was considered final. But Days of Our Lives has always reminded us that in Salem, death is rarely permanent, especially for a man known as the Phoenix. And now, that name takes on a whole new meaning. The promo closes with an ominous figure in a white lab coat, standing in the shadows and whispering, "It's almost time, Father." That line alone has reignited every DiMera conspiracy theory out there. Could Dr. Wilhelm Rolf be secretly working behind the scenes again, reviving Stefano using his twisted science? Or is it possible that Andre DiMera, Stefano's equally dangerous son, has returned to complete what his father started? Rafe Hernandez makes a haunting reference to Stefano's legacy, reminding us why he was always known as the Phoenix. Meanwhile, Anna DiMera confides in Tony that someone is actively claiming Stefano is alive. But these aren't just passing comments or red herrings. They're layered with deeper implications, suggesting someone is orchestrating a grand return, and that the DiMera power struggle is about to erupt in terrifying new ways. Could Stefano be resurrected physically, or is this a psychological resurrection through his influence, his teachings, or even a cloned form? With DOOL, the lines between the impossible and the inevitable often blur. Whatever the truth is, it's clear that Stefano's dark shadow is once again looming over Salem, and no one is safe. While Stefano's return threatens the city from the shadows, a very different kind of storm is brewing in plain sight, and it begins with Sophia Choi. In a shocking act of desperation, Sophia secretly abandons her newborn son at a safe haven baby drop-off outside a fire station. But instead of coming clean, she spins a deceitful tale, telling Tate Black that she was the one adopted and that her adoptive parents have taken her back home. It's a calculated lie, and Sophia isn't acting alone. District Attorney Melinda Trask, of all people, helps her bury the truth. That's right, the DA, who's supposed to uphold justice, is now an accomplice in one of the most disturbing cover-ups we've seen in recent DOOL history. But the question remains, why is Melinda helping Sophia? Is there a personal connection? Is she protecting her own secret? Or is this part of a much bigger web of manipulation? As for the abandoned baby, he's now being looked after by Javi Hernandez and Leo Stark, two characters whose chaotic energy makes them unlikely guardians. While their intentions might be noble, their judgment is often questionable, and the situation is clearly a ticking time bomb. Sophia's decision has triggered a domino effect of lies, legal violations, and emotional betrayals. The longer she maintains this deception, the more damage it will cause, not just to her and Tate, but to an innocent child who's already been passed around like a secret. The big question now is, how long before this house of cards collapses? And when it does, who will be left standing? Salem's courthouse is about to become the stage for one of the most intense legal battles in recent Days of Our Lives history, one that threatens to destroy families and unravel long-held secrets. Johnny DiMera is standing trial for the attempted murder of E.J. DiMera, his own father. That fact alone would be explosive, but it's what happens in the courtroom that truly sets the tone for this psychological rollercoaster. Paulina Price is one of the first to testify. She recounts a chilling moment when Johnny told her that his father deserved it. Those 3 words echo through the courtroom like a bomb. They don't just suggest motive, they paint a picture of deep-rooted resentment, possibly even premeditation. But the most heart-wrenching witness is Rachel Black. A young girl caught in the crossfire of adult corruption and emotional trauma, Rachel is terrified, not for herself, but for Johnny. She believes he might be going to prison because of something she did. This is where the plot thickens. Marlena Evans, typically the moral compass of Salem, remains suspiciously silent. Her daughter, Belle Black, starts to put the pieces together and becomes increasingly convinced that Marlena knows more than she's letting on. Specifically, Belle suspects that Marlena knows the real shooter. That's when a shocking theory emerges. What if Rachel, confused, traumatized, and deeply repressed, was actually the one who pulled the trigger? Is it possible that Rachel shot EJ during a blackout or dissociative episode, and that Marlena, in a misguided attempt to protect her, helped bury the memory? Could this explain Rachel's terror and Marlena's eerie silence? This storyline is no longer just about guilt or innocence. It's about memory, repression, and the limits of parental protection. As more witnesses take the stand, and the emotional pressure mounts, one thing is clear. This trial is far from over, and the truth may be even more devastating than anyone expects. Now let's shift our focus to a DiMera plot so twisted, it could only come from the mind of E.J. DiMera himself. In a move that stuns even longtime DOOL viewers, E.J. decides to bring Gwen Ryacek into his confidence, and weaponize her charm. But this isn't just some casual favor. E.J. gives Gwen a secret mission: infiltrate, seduce, and extract information, specifically from Xander Kyriakis. Why? Because E.J. believes someone out there knows more than they're letting on. He suspects there's a leak or a hidden witness, and he's determined to shut it down before it ruins his plans. Now, recruiting Gwen is a bold, dangerous move. She has a long history of manipulation, backstabbing, and impulsive behavior. And this assignment? It pushes all her old buttons. Seducing Xander isn't just about intel, it's personal. Their past is messy, passionate, and unresolved. So the question is, can Gwen keep her emotions in check? Can she play the role of seductive spy without falling into the same chaotic patterns that have burned her before? And what about Xander? He's no fool. If he senses Gwen's motives aren't sincere, this could explode in EJ's face. Worse yet, if Gwen starts developing real feelings again, or if Xander suspects he's being used, the situation could spiral out of control, drawing the entire Kyriakis and DiMera clans into an all-out war. This isn't just espionage, it's emotional roulette, and someone's bound to get hurt. Just when you think Gabby Hernandez has played every bold move in the book, she raises the stakes, and sets Salem on fire with her next scandalous act. In a moment that's both deliberate and destructive, Gabby plants a steamy kiss on Xander Kyriakis, and not in private. She does it right in front of Brady Black and Sarah Horton, making sure both of them witness every second. For Sarah, it's a public humiliation she's not willing to take lying down. In a split-second decision fueled by pain and pride, she grabs Brady and kisses him back, just as passionately. Tit for tat, eye for an eye, and just like that, emotional chaos erupts into physical violence. Within moments, Xander and Brady are in each other's faces. Words escalate, fists fly, and what starts as a love triangle turns into a full-on explosive brawl. It's testosterone-fueled, raw, and personal, classic DOOL drama, delivered at full intensity. But this isn't just about jealousy. It's about Gabby's endgame. What does she truly want? Is she using Xander to manipulate Philip? Is she trying to destabilize Sarah? Or is her heart genuinely caught between these men? Because make no mistake, Philip Kyriakis is still very much in the picture. And Gabby doesn't wait long before sharing an intimate moment with him too. A passionate, no-holds-barred kiss that complicates everything even further. Lines are being blurred, emotional boundaries are being shattered. What started as a calculated game is starting to feel real, messy, and dangerously unpredictable. And when hearts get involved in Salem, someone always gets burned. In the midst of all this betrayal and chaos, there's a moment of warmth and nostalgia that brings the heart of Days of Our Lives back to the forefront. Jennifer Horton Devereaux takes the stage at the grand opening of the Dr. Tom Horton Free Clinic, a tribute to one of the most beloved patriarchs in DOOL history. Her speech is emotional, raw, and full of hope for the future of Salem. But it's not just a ceremony. It's a family reunion in every sense of the word. Jennifer's heartfelt words draw familiar faces back home. Jack Devereaux, Mike Horton, and Will Horton all return to honor the legacy of Dr. Tom Horton and to show their support. These are not just cameos, they are emotional touchstones for longtime fans. Seeing these characters back in Salem reminds us of the show's deep-rooted history, its multi-generational storytelling, and the enduring power of family. And then, she walks in. Sammy Brady. The firecracker, the wild card, the woman who never enters a room quietly. Sammy's return is a game-changer. Her reappearance promises intensity, confrontation, and deeply buried secrets rising to the surface. From her complex dynamic with EJ to her emotional reunions with Marlena and Eric Brady, her arrival feels like a spark dropped into a pile of dry leaves. Every reunion will come with its own complications. Every conversation could unearth old betrayals or light new fires. And with Sammy back in Salem, one thing is certain: nothing will stay quiet for long. Just when it seems Sophia's lies couldn't possibly spiral any further, they do. Her manipulations stretch well beyond Tate Black. In a quietly calculated move, she sets her sights on his budding romance with Holly Jonas, and what starts as jealousy soon turns into something far more sinister. Sophia begins sowing seeds of doubt between Tate and Holly, undermining their relationship in subtle, cutting ways. But before those tensions can fully erupt, a devastating crisis strikes Salem. Holly Jonas and Ariana, Ari, Horton suddenly vanish. The shockwave of their kidnapping rattles every family in Salem. At first, there's confusion. Were the girls simply missing? Did they run away? But the truth is far darker. The two teenagers have been abducted and are being held captive, locked away together in an unknown location. As panic sets in, all evidence begins to point to one disturbing source: Doug Williams III and his underground loan sharking operation. Long considered a fringe figure in Salem, Doug is now at the center of a horrifying scandal involving illegal debts, extortion, and now, human lives. The motive? Retribution. Doug appears to be sending a message, and the message is clear: no one connected to the wrong people is off limits. Even innocent teenage girls. With every hour that passes, the pressure intensifies. Tate Black, racked with guilt and fear, takes it upon himself to confront Doug directly, desperate for answers, desperate to find Holly. It's a move that's reckless, emotional, and incredibly brave. But this storyline isn't just about a rescue. It's a deep psychological test for the young characters involved. It forces Tate, Ari, and Holly to confront terror, survival instincts, and the strength of their emotional bonds. Will they make it out safely? Or will this ordeal leave scars that change them forever? Then comes the scene that has everyone talking, the one that flashes by in the promo like a nightmare you can't wake up from. It's Halloween night in Salem, and what should be a playful celebration quickly spirals into blood-soaked chaos. Alex Kyriakis is the first to notice something's terribly wrong. We hear him screaming, pure panic in his voice, as he tries to warn Kat Green and shoves her out of harm's way. Chad DiMera, caught in the chaos, also leaps in to help, but it's too late. A knife slices through the air, and someone gets stabbed. The camera cuts, the scream echoes, and viewers are left gasping. But here's the chilling question: is this real, or just a terrifying Halloween illusion? Is this an actual murder attempt, or a staged fantasy episode, the kind Days is known for pulling off around holidays? If it is real, who's the victim? Is Kat Green the target, or is Alex the one who gets wounded while trying to protect her? Could this be the beginning of a murder mystery arc, or the end of a major character? Everything about the scene is designed to rattle us. The blurred motion, the screams, the blood, the chaos. It taps into the show's long-standing tradition of blurring the line between fantasy and deadly reality. And until the truth is revealed, no one is safe. And finally, as the town reels from kidnappings, courtroom trials, and possible stabbings, a haunting turn of events unfolds at the center of the show's emotional core. Marlena Evans, the heart and soul of Salem for decades, suddenly collapses. She's rushed to the hospital, and as her body lies still, her mind is anything but. In a dreamlike state, Marlena begins to drift into a surreal and symbolic vision. She imagines herself as the Queen of the Night, a powerful, mystical figure cloaked in darkness and light. She wanders through scenes from her past, whispers of unfinished business, and ghostly echoes of the DiMera legacy. Is this simply a metaphorical reflection of her mental state? Or is her subconscious sensing something deeper, something real? Because remember, this is Days of Our Lives. Dreams can be warnings, visions can be doorways to truth. And in the world of Salem, the supernatural is never far behind. Marlena's collapse may be the spiritual turning point of this entire arc. It might tie directly into the rumors of Stefano's resurrection, or even a larger DiMera conspiracy still unfolding behind the scenes. Whatever it is, one thing is certain: Marlena's journey isn't over. It's just taking a turn into the unknown, and that could change everything. So, buckle up, DOOL fans. This summer promises fake-outs, breakdowns, betrayals, and maybe even a resurrection. Will Stefano rise again? Will secrets destroy families? Will anyone survive the chaos? Let us know your theories in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more explosive Days of Our Lives updates.